Well, hello and welcome everybody to the very first episode of Under the Maple. This is a video podcast brought to you by Shady Maple Companies. My name's Will, and for anybody that is not familiar with Shady Maple, we are located in Lancaster County, Pennsylvania. The Shady Maple complex is comprised mainly of the Smorgasbord, a gift shop, and the farm market. The Smorgasbord is known internationally as the largest buffet in the United States. With dessert bars, grills, it can comfortably seat 1,200 people, which is pretty impressive. Equally as impressive is the gift shop, which is located on the lower level. This is a 44,000 square foot store that has items pretty much for everybody. It has toys, games, Amish furniture, home decor, sports memorabilia. It would probably be faster to name the things that it doesn't have. Sure. It's pretty impressive. So if you're ever eating at if you're ever dining at the Smorgasbord, highly recommend stopping by. On the other side of the complex is the farm market. This is a farm market grocery store, kind of the best of both worlds when it comes to modern grocery stores and farm markets. It started as a roadside produce stand and grew into a 130,000 square foot marketplace. It's a favorite spot to shop for both tourists and locals. It's got a seafood department, meat and deli, soup and salad. It's got a full-size bakery. It's essentially like a local farm market with the convenience of a modern grocery outlet. And there's few out there who could speak more on the topic than the president and CEO of Shady Maple, Lin Weaver. Lin, thanks for coming on the podcast.
Thank you. This will be fun.
So if you don't mind just giving me a brief background on your role right now when it comes to being president and CEO for Shady Maple and for the complex as a whole.
Yeah, Will, thanks for this opportunity. It's great to be here. Quite an interesting story because I grew up in the business, as many people know, and literally the business started before I was born. So I literally grew up in the business.
Right. My
parents started the business here, and at a very young age, I would be doing everything from helping stock groceries sometimes, helping clean floors, and I would often be with my dad down in the grocery store just doing odd jobs, and even with my grandpa too. Like a lot of times I'd be with him and doing just whatever needs done, sometimes putting yogurt on the shelf in the dairy aisle. And then at age 13, I actually got a real job where I started punching a clock and got a schedule and got treated like a real employee and with accountability. And before that, it was more just fun little hobbies and little odds and ends here and there.
Yeah, I'm sure it coincided with like the age and the responsibilities you could actually carry out. So that makes sense. So it started off with a farm stand, correct? A roadside farm stand. And was that founded by, you said your grandpa, what was the lineage there? Who started the actual first farm stand?
Yeah, back in the 1960s, my grandpa owned this original property where we're at now, where we're sitting, and he was a farmer, grew many different things. And one of the things he enjoyed doing is he grew a lot of produce, anything from cabbage, broccoli, watermelons, cantaloupes, things like that. And he always had a large amount, so they opened up a roadside stand right underneath a maple tree. And as a lot of people know, that's where the name comes from. Yeah. It was shady underneath the tree, and people started saying, oh, this is nice, it's shady, it's maple tree, you have a roadside stand, and he started calling it Shady Maple. And that's how the whole business worked, where my grandpa had a roadside stand through the 1960s, and then my father, in his 20s, very young age, decided to take over, and my grandpa was shifting and did some different roles, and my dad took over and built the first official farmers market, which back then it was 3,000 square feet, no air conditioning. I mean, very humble beginnings. Like looking back, I'm like, many people wonder, like, how did that ever work? Like, we're sort of in the middle of nowhere, rural Amish country, and built this 3,000 square foot building with no air conditioning and hope people show up. But yeah, as you can see, it worked out quite well.
Yeah, those people did show up, and they kept coming back, and it led to where we are sort of today. So you have some siblings, one of which, your brother, is also involved with Shady Maple. What roles did you play growing up in the business? Like you said you started off sort of just what you could do per your age, and then you were an actual employee. Where did that take you after leading up to now?
Yeah, in my high school years, I worked a lot of different positions. Like one of the blessings I had growing up was I was allowed to try different things and work different jobs. And even one of my mentors, his name's Elwood Martin. He used to be our president, and he would always encourage me, like, work in every single department in the whole business. I'm like, really? Like, why? He's like, you'll never regret it. And so I took his advice, and I literally worked in almost every single department in the whole, every different area in the whole organization. Everything from helping butcher meats and bakery items, and you name it, I pretty much did it.
Wow.
Pushing shopping carts, bagging groceries, running registers. Like, I got to experience all them different jobs. And looking back, I'm like, I'm so glad I had that experience of getting to feel and know what each person goes through each day and does each day, and understanding the role at that level. So that was to me, that was priceless. Like, that was my college education, going through high school at the same time as going through high school. And then after high school, I had a lot of different ideas. Like, I wanted to maybe get a construction job just to learn that field, or go to college, and I wasn't sure what I was going to do. And my dad kept coming back to me like, why would you do that? Like, there's a lot of opportunity here. We have a lot of openings here. And I went back and forth. I actually had a construction job lined up, building barns, and I was all excited about it. And he's like, are you sure you want to do this? So at the 9th hour, like, literally I called him up. I'm like, I'm so sorry, but I changed my mind, and I stayed in the business, got my CDL license, started driving 18-wheelers, started buying local produce, going down to Philadelphia and buying produce down there, and at age 18 years old. And then kept working up through there, and throughout the years became managing different departments. And then as my dad started retiring years ago, my brother and I started taking over more and more responsibility. My brother Phil Weaver and I.
Gotcha, Phil. That's awesome. And that makes sense. Growing up and working those different aspects of the industry that we're in right now, you get those perspectives, and you kind of understand what these specific roles entail and what's expected. And I'm sure that is highly valuable today, like you said. What would you say is like the biggest evolution that you've seen over the years at Shady Maple on the plaza itself? I know that the farm market underwent some renovations and expansions after its initial building. What would you say is the biggest evolution you've seen?
Well, the biggest thing we say around here is nothing ever stays the same. We are always changing, evolving, whatever you want to call it. Like, I'm one of them weird people that actually like change. Like, I know a lot of people hate change. I like the same thing, routine, day in, day out.
Right.
I don't. I mean, I get bored quickly if I do the same thing like 7 days in a row. So, like, for another example, if I go to a restaurant, I'll literally go down through the menu, and once I see something I never had before, I order it. Where I know a lot of my friends are like, no, we were here before, we had this, we liked it, we're ordering the exact same thing. I'm like, that don't make any sense to me. Like, why would you order something you had before? Like, I love adventure, I love trying new things. So that's kind of how our business works, and I think it's one of the reasons we stayed successful through many different transitions.
Definitely.
We are willing to change with the times, the trends, the fads. We built on the store 17 times. We built on some of the additions were bigger than the current building. So we went from 3,000 square feet to right now we're at 150,000 square feet. So it was some really drastic, multi-million-dollar remodels and additions sometimes. And then same with the Smorgasbord. It was a very similar story. In the 80s, it started quite small. We doubled that size to 600 seats. Then in 2000, we built where we're at now. The Smorgasbord we have now seated about 1,000 people. Then 2005, we doubled that again. Now we can seat almost 2,000 people at one time on any given time, any given day. So that's a huge blessing. We can handle huge crowds. Many people drive up and they'll see the line, and sometimes there'll be 500-600 people in line. They'll be like, "Oh no, like we don't want to eat there." And I'm like, "No, just hang out. You'll be fine. Like, literally, you'll be seated within 30 minutes. And they're like, there's no way. There's no way. And sure enough, I'll come back to them later on and be like, okay, how long was it? And they're like, yep, 29 minutes. You were right.
There you go.
So we can put people through really fast. And with 2,000 seats, you're sitting pretty quick, even if we have a line.
Yeah, I failed to mention earlier that there's conference rooms and a full banquet area that adds an additional 2,000 seats to the number I mentioned before. So yeah, definitely. And I've heard of the lines on some Saturdays that get out the door and wrap around the building in some cases. I haven't seen it yet, but I haven't been on a Saturday in a little while. And it's just pretty astonishing that they can get through. You can get through a line like that, in 30 minutes. I believe it with the supply that we have for the demand, essentially. So, with your siblings and extended family sort of involved in the business, what's it like working in a multi-generational business?
Yeah, to sum it up in one word, I would say hard.
Okay.
Probably not what you wanted to hear, but
well, hey, it's interesting.
It's just a reality. Like, when you have family dynamic, I mean, the good news is, of all the businesses in the world, I would never want to work in a business that's not a family business. I think that's the biggest blessing ever, is get to work in a business, a family business. And when you get into corporate America and the big Fortune 500 companies, yes, there's some great things there too, but a family business is unique and different and its own type of blessing. Like, we have that beautiful family feel where we care about each other, and we'll do amazing things for each other. And there's just we have a really amazing culture that people actually care about each other authentically at work and out of work. It's both and. Like, one of the things my wife does, for example, is if one of our employees is sick or going through a hard time, she'll take them a meal and spend time with them, encourage them. And we have a benevolence fund. And if somebody's going through a hard time for some reason, we'll give them, meet their needs. We'll maybe fill their oil tank or pay their mortgage for 1 month, things like that. Like, we love doing things to bless people that are going through challenges, because we recognize that everybody has challenges. I don't care how perfect you are, how perfect your parents were. There's speed bumps in every path. And I met Dan Cathy from Chick-fil-A one time, and he always talks about how everybody has a story, and it's important to get to know their story and to know what gives them energy, what makes them tick, what are some of their challenges, what are some of their opportunities, and how can we help come alongside them and encourage them and help them through the good times and the bad times.
Yeah, absolutely. No, there's definitely that. I felt that vibe already, where there's a genuine concern for all the employees and their well-being, wanting the best for them. It's definitely evident so far. So there's a deep tie with Lancaster County, being that the complex is located in the Amish country of Lancaster County. And there's a decent bit of local partnerships, like farmers in the area. Can you tell me a little bit about how that plays into Shady Maple's success?
Yeah, it's a big deal. Like, one of the negatives of where we're located in the middle of Lancaster County, no close city close to us. Well, the kind of negative it is, we don't have a lot of population close to us, so people got to drive 20, 30, 100 miles to get here, which is normal for us. So that's a negative, but the blessing is we're in the middle of farm country. We have some of the best farmers in the world, and I'm not exaggerating when I say that. When you look at our produce, you look at different things that are raised here or even made here and manufactured here, it's the best of the best. And we have Lancaster County soil. A lot of people say it's a breadbasket of America, and they say that because the soil is nutrient rich. It's just the perfect combination to have great, healthy produce and everything from watermelons to tomatoes. I mean, a lot of our things are world famous. People come here from other areas to purchase things that are made here. And then we have the culture too, where it's a great work ethic and caring people. And the Amish community is just has a lot of heritage here of great traditional values where family matters and children matter. And it just, yeah. I did a lot of traveling in my life, all different parts of the world. And every time I come home, I'm like, there's no place I'd rather live than right here. Like, I always think that and say that and believe that in my heart. Like, I love traveling. I love going to Italy and Greece and different places. But when I get home, I'm like, okay, like, I'm so thankful for my heritage of where I grew up.
I agree with that. I grew up in not too far from here and lived here my whole life. And there's definitely something special about the farmlands and the culture that is kind of evident as you shop and live in this area. It's definitely a beautiful thing, and it certainly plays into the culture here at Shady Maple for sure. Would you mind just walking me through a day in the life of being a CEO here at Shady Maple? What's typically the first thing on your agenda when you get in? I know you said you like change and you don't like doing sort of the same thing all the time, but is there sort of a routine that you stick to when you get in the morning?
Good question. Like, I know a lot of people look at a CEO as, they sit in the office and they don't get out of there and they do meetings and stare at their computer all day long and study financial data. And I do that, of course, because you need to. But boy, I love being with customers. I love being with the other fellow teammates, employees. Like, so my day is probably quite different than an average CEO. Like, I like to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I like to have some time at home, have some personal devotion time, and then I'll come in around 5:30, sometimes 6:30, and just walk around the different parts of the business, see how things are going, make sure we're customer ready. Like, are we customer ready? Are we ready for another busy day? And then sometimes I'll even actually jump in and help work. Like, to me it's like I could go to the gym in the morning or I could work in the morning. Like, I'd rather work. And to me it's more exciting, more fun, and you're actually doing something that is producing something. So. Right. And where I worked the most in my teenage years and even in my 20s was produce. So that's kind of where I gravitate back to when I had time. So sometimes, it was funny, a customer came to me, it was just literally a week ago. He came up to me and he's like, "Your name's Lin, right?" He saw my name tag. And I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "I never saw your name tag before." He's like, "You're not actually the CEO, are you?" I'm like, "Yeah, why?" He's like, "Well, why are you putting out apples and oranges and cauliflower?" I'm like, "I don't know. I just enjoy it." And I said that they needed help this morning, so I jumped in. He's like, "I have never met a CEO that does stuff like that." I'm like, "Okay." He's like, "Maybe I shouldn't be doing it, but no." It to me, it helps keep my finger on the pulse. Like, I know what's going on. Like, I'll walk over to the donut counter, see if they're caught up, things like that. It's just, at the smorgasbord, I like walking around, make sure things are flowing, look at the food quality, make sure our food quality is absolutely the best it can be. So I enjoy that part of being a CEO. I enjoy the office part, the meetings part, the coaching, the mentoring too, but it's fun getting in the weeds and just being part of the business of what made us successful.
Right. I'm sure that's good for morale too, because you're just a part of the team at that point in time. If there's fellow teammates that are seeing their leader essentially coming down and helping them on a busy day or something like that, I'm sure that goes a long way.
Some people probably think I'm getting in the way, but I try to do my best.
I see. Yeah, that's awesome. So between overseeing the farm market and some of the smorgasbord and other ventures, how is it kind of juggling all that? How much responsibility do you have with the smorgasbord? Because I personally actually don't know what your involvement is with that. You say you come over and do quality check, essentially. What other?
My office is actually in the farm market building.
I see. Yeah.
So that's where I have a lot of my meetings, and all our executive team meetings are there. But I like to get up to the smorgasbord building at least once a day, do a walkthrough, check on the gift shop, the smorgasbord, see if there's any challenges or anybody needs anything. So talk to a few people. And then I do some meetings over here. We just had a smorgasbord manager meeting. So, but yeah, my main time is in the farm market building because that's where my main office is. And then all my direct reports will meet there and do a lot of our hiring and executive services come out of that building. So a lot of interviews.
That makes sense. You sort of talked earlier about like the fulfilling element of getting down and doing some of the produce work. When it comes to your role, what would you say is the most rewarding part of the job?
For me, what's probably the most rewarding is seeing customers authentically smile. Like, especially like at the smorgasbord, when they come in, a lot of times people come here for their birthday. Mm-hmm. And they'll sit down and people are singing happy birthday for them and they're eating great food, and just seeing that authentic, beautiful smile or laughter or even conversation, that to me like blesses me. Like, you can't put a price tag on that. And even at the grocery store, like seeing customers, like for a lot of people, they dread grocery shopping. Like, oh, I got to go grocery shopping. Like, that's the last thing I want to do today. But to see them come in the store, especially a first timer, like a lot of people will come in the store and they'll be like, well, we had no idea that, we just thought this was going to be a traditional supermarket. Like, we had no idea you're going to have 42 kinds of apples and 46 kinds of donuts. And we just had no idea. And a full service meat counter and,
huge variety.
And 200 kinds of made in house from scratch soup and salad and dessert items and coleslaw and Amish macaroni salad. Like, they're just like, and we're sampling, and they run into employees that are like super friendly and smiling and how's your day going? Or like just seeing a customer light up and actually enjoy grocery shopping, that to me, like, that makes my day. Like, I feel good. And even above that, seeing employees enjoy their job, enjoy coming to work and not dread coming to work, and having them have that healthy conversations and banter back and forth. And like, I tell people all the time, like, when you work here, you can have as much fun as you want, but your job got to get done. Mm-hmm. And you got to get done quickly. But I want you to have fun at the same time. Like, I love hearing laughter. Like, when you're in a department and there's a lot getting done per hour and everybody's hustling and working as fast as they can, and you're hearing laughter, like, it's a good day. We know, like, this is going to be a good day.
And coming from someone who I shopped, and not to speak badly about the Wises and the Giants of the world, but there is a very distinct difference with shopping at the farm market versus shopping at a chain grocery outlet, simply because the amount of employees that are available to speak with, and then their willingness to help you, essentially feels like they treat every customer with that same mindset. And it certainly does go a long way. And then on the employee side of it, everybody does seem, I mean, I have a unique position here where I can work with pretty much everybody in the organization. And so far, everybody, the willingness that people have to pitch in or to suggest new ideas, it's been mind-blowing and super helpful for me as well. So it can definitely attest to what you said about that.
Yeah, we were 400 associates in the farm market and over 400 associates in the smorgasbord. So when you're here as a customer, you're going to have a lot of contact with people. Like, a lot of different businesses you walk into now, they're trying to cut labor, get automated, no full service. It's all about just your number, you're a robot going through the system. And we try to offer something a little different here, where each person is special. Each person's treated like a piece of gold and the person that matters. And so we still have full service counters. If you want your a specially cut of meat, or if you say you want a steak that's 1 inch and 3/4 thick, we can do it for you on the spot with a smile. Yeah. And when you get to register, we have full service registers with friendly people that check you out, and we have a bagger that'll help bag your groceries, and they'll even take it to your car if you need assistance, and put it in your car for you. Yep. I mean, I love that kind of experience. That's like almost like going back to the 1980s, 1990s, which it's harder and harder to find that experience anymore.
Is there many challenges and unexpected issues that pop up from time to time that you've overcome in different ways, even during like busy seasons of the year? Is there any challenges that come up like routinely that you have to handle as a CEO?
Yeah, part of being any leader, not just CEO, is like this is a good example. One of my managers came up to me recently and are like, why is my job so difficult? Like, why am I always having challenges to solve? I'm like, that's kind of the definition of leadership. Like, part of our job description as leaders is we get to solve problems. Like, we take really, really complicated problems, we make them solvable, we make them simple, and we bring in solutions and action steps to provide solutions to whatever that is. And that, to me, that's part of my job description. Like, every day I'm walking through super complex issues, everything from insurance challenges to providing health care to just so many different things that we're walking through day to day. Like, we might have a customer complaint, like somebody's complaining like something wasn't right. Like, okay, how do we deal with that? We want a happy customer. Like, we want customers for life, not just one time. And so we're always walking through complicated situations. Right now, we're looking for quite a few positions that we need to fill and hire for. So we're looking at strategic ways, like how can we find the right person for the right seat on the bus, and strategize to find that perfect person that's going to be a good culture fit and going to be a good team member. So we're always looking for things like that and working through challenges. But to me, that's part of the fun, because when you do a success in that's really rewarding.
Right, absolutely. And you can learn for future issues that might come up, addressing them in a similar fashion. It feels like it's a tight ship being run here. So, if you were helping run Shady Maple, is there a dream job that you would have gone after that you'd pick?
Yeah, when I was way back, when I was like literally 18, as I said before, like I just thought like some of my friends were in construction, like that would be a cool job. You're out in the elements, the sun and the cold and the rain, and you're working hard, and you're
very physical.
You're physical, and you're building stuff. And say you build a brand new home, and when you're done, you're like, you can step back and like, wow, like we built that. I always thought that'd be cool. Like, but as I got older, like one of the things I super enjoy is real estate. We actually, part of Shady Maple has a real estate arm where we develop some land. We do different things with land purchases. So that's something, one of my hobbies and passions that I'm always passionate about is I love land. It's something you can touch and feel, and housing, because everybody needs a house to live in. Like one thing I like about our business, it's not based on frivolous wants. It's based on needs. Like everybody needs food to survive. And the same with housing. Like everybody needs shelter. So I enjoy things like that are are gonna be there forever. There's always gonna be a need for things like that.
Nice, very cool, very interesting. You talked about land and having an interest in that. Is there any plan in the future for expansion for Shady Maple outside of the current location that you know of?
It's definitely on the. We always like casting vision. That's one of the things we do here is we'll look at a 5-year plan, a 10-year plan, a 20-year plan. Like, what's that look like? I think a healthy company is always growing. Like, there is no stabilization. Like, all healthy companies either grow or they go backwards. So we're always growing. Like, one of our long-range plans is have a satellite location, maybe 50 to 100 miles from here, either a smaller smorgasbord. We're big believers in you start small and you grow. Mm-hmm. So maybe a smaller smorgasbord, or even like a smaller farmer's market where you focus on like the different things we make in-house. We make over 1,000 different recipes from scratch every single week. So we'd focus on all the things that we make in-house, make fresh, produce, different things, meats, things like that, bakery. We have over 70 employees now just making bakery items. So we have a lot of great things that we can take to different venues that people that don't come here already. So that's on the horizon. The other thing we're working at sort of undercover that people don't even know about is we're looking at investing in housing.
Okay.
One of the challenges a lot of people that work here is looking for affordable housing. This area here, it just seems like there's not much affordable housing available. So we're looking at doing a venture where we purchase or build to supply affordable housing.
Wow, that's great. I was not aware of that. That's awesome. What's your go-to from the smorgasbord? I'm sure people are are curious after all these years. What's is there any hacks or what's your favorite?
Yeah, it's a lot of people ask me that question, especially YouTube, like social media influencers. Whenever they come in here, they always ask me like, "What should I get first?" I'm like, "Just get a little bit of everything." They look at me like, "That's not possible." Like, there's like 300-400 items here. We have 70 kinds of drinks you can pick from. And so what I mean by that is when I eat at the smorgasbord, I ate breakfast here this morning. Mm-hmm. I literally get about a spoonful of each item. Like I like to taste variety. Like for me, it's about quality control. But even if I wasn't part of the ownership here, I would probably do the same thing. Like come here, don't just load up on one item. Try just go down to the buffet, whatever looks like great to you. Just get one spoonful of each item and then come back if you want to and get some more if you want to. But I see these people, like I saw one guy the other day, he had 2 monster cheeseburgers on his plate, loaded up with all the fixings and toppings, which I'm sure he enjoyed them. I'm like, we have hundreds and hundreds and if not 1,000 different items to pick from, and you're eating these 2 cheeseburgers and it's all good. Like everybody each to his own.
Yeah.
I'm sure he was happy and he was smiling and having a great time. I'm like, that would not be me. I like trying everything.
No, that's so smart. And honestly, I feel like that might be getting the best or the most out of your experience by doing something like that, because especially if you're out of the area and you're not used to Pennsylvania Dutch style cooking, things that you've never had before. Having just a little bit of each, and if you like something, go back for more. It's always going to be there. So,
but if you want to try, our brisket, I would put that at the top of one of our best items. Our prime rib's great. Our seafood's great. Our salmon, but our brisket with that 14-hour hickory smoke on it, it's really amazing. I don't think I had a brisket anywhere better.
Yeah, I agree. Where does the brisket come from here at Shady Maple?
We source products all over the United States. Okay. It's USA, usually Midwest beef, but we get beef in literally by the trailer load. We're going through with 2,000 people seated at one time. Our last Saturday, we were around 9,000 people on just one day, so we can go through a lot of food.
I totally believe it.
A lot of dirty plates, a lot of dirty spoons.
Sure. Yeah, but I've seen the dishwashing crew, and they seemed capable of that. As crazy as it sounds. It's an awesome establishment and a marvel to behold. You said 9,000 people. Is there a record for how many people served in one day? I'm sure there has to be.
There is. Several years ago, the day before Mother's Day is always our biggest day of the year, every single year, because we're closed Sundays, and everybody wants to take mom out to eat around Mother's Day. So the Saturday before Mother's Day every year is our biggest day of the year. And one year we had 11,000, I think it was 700 people in one day. And that was the record that I don't know if we'll ever hit again, because that was like, I'm still not quite convinced how we got that many people through in that short a time, because it just, mathematically, when you look at it, like, okay, that's not possible, but I don't think the numbers are lying.
Yeah, I can't wrap my mind around that figure or thinking about that many people coming through the door, eating and leaving in that amount of time, the hours of operation. I also wouldn't have guessed it was that day, the day before Mother's Day or the Saturday before Mother's Day, just based on. But it makes sense how you explained it. That's pretty interesting stuff. Is any Lancaster County hidden gems for people that are coming from out of state or tourists coming to tour the area? Is there any hidden gem that you would sort of off the beaten path that you'd suggest checking out besides the Shady Maple?
I mean, obviously, I grew up here, so I kind of take things for granted. I'm like, people will come from out of the area and like, where should we go first? I'm like, I have no idea. I got to think about this, because The interesting part is I had a friend visit me not long ago from Texas, and he was never in this area before. So he flies into the Philadelphia airport, and he comes up the Schuylkill, then gets on the Turnpike, then gets off the Morgantown exit, and comes up Route 23 from Morgantown, comes west to the Smorgasbord. And that was his first stop. And he met me at the Smorgasbord, and he's like, that was the most beautiful drive of my life. I mean, this is a guy that's been, I think, to every continent.
Oh, wow.
This is a world traveling guy that went to like a lot of the famous places in the world. He's like, that was the most beautiful drive of my life. I'm like, where? I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, did you go down some certain road? Or
Right.
He's like, no, I was on Route 23 coming here. I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about. But literally when I went home from work that day, I did the same drive just to see what he was experiencing. And it was a fall like it is right now.
It was a fall time.
All the leaves were changing.
Yeah.
And on 23, especially when you got through Churchtown, you have a mountain on both sides, and you see the fall colors. You have all these beautiful farms that are all just manicured perfectly. And he's like, I saw a lot of great things. He said, I saw the Grand Canyon. He said, this is better. He said, just seeing the simplicity of these beautiful farms, the mountains, just all the crops are getting ready to harvest. He said, there's something about that. He said, I just felt peace. Like, and he said, I saw people out in the fields working, and he's like, it was pretty cool. 'Cause I'm like, I would have never thought of that drive as being beautiful because I do it every day of my life almost. And to me, I just take it for granted. Like, I got used to it.
Yeah, it's easy to take this area for granted when you've lived here your whole life. But to your point earlier, when you do leave for a little bit and come back, you kind of realize it, you kind of refresh. And even though this area is pretty inhabited when it comes to the amount of people living here, when it comes to the farmland, a lot of that farmland has never changed. It's been refarmed throughout the years, but nothing's changed. So that old style feel and the beauty and the character of the land is preserved in a lot of ways through the farmland. So when you're coming here to visit, Shady Maple or the surrounding area, you're going to experience that for sure.
For sure.
So if you could time travel and go back to the early days of the business and talk to a younger version of yourself, is there any advice you'd give yourself?
Always be learning, always be pplicable, never think you attained, always be humble. It's just, I think everybody has different stages in their life where you go through different seasons. And
definitely,
obviously looking back, like, I think the older you get, the more you realize, wow, there's a lot of things I don't know.
Sure.
That when you're younger in your 20s, you're like, okay, I got life figured out now. I'm good. And if I could go back, I'd be like, always just stay learning, stay humble, like really build teams around you. Don't try to do things yourself. I mean, people are the most important thing in the world. And always be nice to people, even if they don't deserve it. Always be humble, willing to honor, respect, and just even if people don't agree with you, love them anyways.
Sure. Yeah.
And
be willing to hear them out.
Be willing to hear them. Be willing to meet them where they're at. And that's some things I wish going back. I think when you get in your 40s, I'll be 50 this year. I think when you get in your 40s, you're like starting to realize more and more and more like people are the most important thing on earth. Like when I'm in my 90s, 100, whatever it is, when I'm ready to die, like I think I'm gonna look back and be like, okay, what's important in life? Well, it was my faith, my family, the people I work with. That was what was important. Money comes and goes, other things come and goes, but relationships are super important.
Absolutely. Great answer. Any hobbies that inspire your approach to business and sort of life in general? Just things that you enjoy doing outside of work?
Yeah, people that know me, they know that I like to have fun. Now, some people I work with, they probably question that. They're like, I just had a person the other day said, one of my people I work with are like, you're always so serious and focused. I'm like, I am? Like, I think when I'm at work, I do get that laser focus because I know how important it is that the customer's a good experience. I know how important it is that if you don't make money, you don't survive. And so that's always weighing on me, especially as CEO, because no matter what happens, the buck stops with you, and it's your fault. If things go good, it's usually everybody else takes credit. If things go bad, it's the CEO's fault.
The answer goes all the way up. Man.
But and that's good and bad.
Sure.
But outside of work, like I love to laugh. I love to have fun. I'm a big adventure person. Like
nice.
if I'm doing things that are a little bit of adrenaline rush and doing something I never did before, it's a good day. Like the one time I thought maybe I messed up a little bit in that area is I always wanted to go skydiving. And finally I think around when I turned 40, I'm like, okay, we're going to do it. And I got a couple friends to go with me, and we go up there, and like this was always on my bucket list. Like I'm going to do this someday. So I'm all excited about it. I'm all hyped up about it. And we go through a little training, and we go up in the airplane, and I'm still excited about it. And okay, we went to the height now. We're going to jump. And the light comes on. Okay, we're going to jump soon. And they open the door up of the plane to jump out. And I didn't realize how cold it is up there. But we went to the maximum height you're allowed to jump without oxygen.
Oh, wow.
We actually paid extra for that. I'm not sure why. And but we're at the maximum height, so it's freezing cold up there. And then he opens the door, and this just gust of wind just hits you in the face of this cold air. And I'm thinking, like, I gotta jump out that door. I'm like, why did I sign up for that? Like, everything in me just like, oh, I don't want to do this. Like,
reality hit.
This was such a dumb idea. Like, I was just thinking, like, somehow but I had some friends with me, so if I would have said no, like, I wouldn't have lived that down. And then
Good point.
I told later on, my instructor that jumped with me, my trainer, I said, when you jump the first time, most people are strapped to your trainer. They call it can't remember the name of it, but anyway, you're strapped together and you jump, and
sure, it's like a tether thing.
Tether jump, yes.
Gotcha.
And so later on, I told my instructor, I said, how many people go up there for the first time, and when you're ready to jump out, they just absolutely refuse, and you go back down and didn't jump? He said, well, yeah. He said, a lot of times when we're ready to jump, my person with me that I'm training, they're yelling, no, no, no. And he said, in my mind, it sounds like a lot like go, go, go. So we just jumped. He said, I pushed him out the door, literally. He was being
oh, wow. Go, go, go.
He was being totally serious. He said, I pushed a lot of people out the door.
That's a good disclaimer, or a good way to fail safe it when you finally land, because I'm sure 9 times, well, probably 10 out of 10 times.
Well, he said every time people didn't want to jump and he pushed me out the door, when you got down to the bottom and realized you're safe, they were glad they did it.
Oh, yeah. You're almost grateful that you.
But I do have a lot of hobbies. Like my newest hobby is pickleball. Like about a year ago,
it's getting popular.
I thought this is the dumbest sport ever. Like, why are these adults playing with wiffle balls?
Is it like tennis, but
like tennis, but you have a wiffle ball? It's more like a wiffle ball.
Oh, okay.
And it's a paddle. It's a hard paddle. It's almost like take ping pong and tennis and combine them. It's almost sort of what it's like.
Sounds fun, honestly.
But yeah, and it's something any age can do and have fun. My wife and I and children will play together, and all the parks have it now. So we're super getting into pickleball. Like I signed up for a league this winter, so it should be a lot of fun. So
very cool.
I like to stay active. I like things that cause me to get my heart rate up, work a sweat up. I just think that's part of being healthy.
Absolutely, 100% agree. Well, that's awesome. I'm glad we got a chance to know you a little better and a little glimpse into your world and some insight. It's highly valuable. Well, thanks everybody for joining us. I hope you learned a thing or two about Shady Maple. And if you're ever in the Lancaster County area, please stop by and experience it for yourself. And thank you very much, Lynn, for coming on.
Thank you.
We appreciate your time. And we'll see everybody next time.